Thank you for watching. I'm David Carroll.
And I'm Cindy Sexton. Police say a foreign exchange student from China who was reported missing last week in Utah has been found safe. The 17-year-old student was reported missing Friday, a day after he was last seen at his host's home in Riverdale, Utah. He was found in a tent. It was an apparent cyber kidnapping scheme to extort $80,000 from the student's family.
Cornelia Nicholson is here with more on these scams. Cornelia, what do you have for us?
David, Cindy, cyber kidnapping is on the rise, targeting exchange students with demands of ransom from their families. Now, I spoke with UTC's exchange program executive director about their protocols to keep exchange students safe here and overseas.
I've never seen this scale of scamming in my career.
The FBI says they're seeing scammers targeting exchange students and virtual kidnappings and demanding a ransom from their families. Takeo Suzuki, the executive director for the Center for Global Education at UTC, says they have roughly 250 students coming from 60 different countries to study here in Chattanooga. When students first arrive, Suzuki says they sit through a thorough orientation.
We focus on safety and security much more than any other probably program does. We talk about the housing to the getting driving license to a health insurance, mental health, pretty much everything covered.
He says with different countries having different standards, they also talk with students about online safety.
So we talk about how important to keep their privacy to some extent so that they are not going to be a targeted victim in the long run.
Michelle Mason with the Better Business Bureau says emergency scams have increased over the last few years.
The most common ones that we see involve a call or text from someone claiming that they're your grandchild or family member in a dire situation. Either they've been arrested or their vehicle's broken down somewhere and they're far, far away and they need some funds to help them resolve the situation.
Mason says in situations like this, it's hard to determine the authenticity.
Scammers are making it so easy to sound like your family member or even use video. Of course, we know there's cases going on right now where there were truly people who took pictures and were involved that way.
She says that's why it's so important to do your research before sending money to someone.
Many times people have told us that they just simply contacted the number or contact information they have for a family member who says they're in dire need to make sure they're okay and found that they were perfectly fine. So don't just immediately send something, take the time to check on them, do due diligence.
She says if you are being extorted for money, always contact law enforcement. She adds this is a good case as to why you should have security settings in place for your social media and be careful who you let access your information because it could get into the wrong hands and be misused to harm others.